Sorry, I'm retweeting that we are live. Hello, all of you. Welcome to the happy hour. I am your host. I am the paragon of virtue. I am Lou Betya. Joined as always by the guy that makes this show actually really good, Monk, the Monk Petition. And we are joined by my friend who is fucking killing it, Chicago fire, Zaid Hussein, who has his two biggest bets of the year on this card, which we will get to. I'll start with you.
Let's get it.
I'll start with you. The kidnappers have not released you from your undisclosed location. How are you doing in captivity right now?
Good. I don't know why they targeted me. It's not like we have any money to give them. First of all, is my fan too loud? It is 100 degrees in.
That's
in
very
Texas.
nice. They gave you a fucking fan.
Yeah. Well, if it's bothersome, I will turn it off. It is 100 degrees here in Texas, so just let me know, and I have no problem turning it off. But other than that, I'm doing good. Glad to be joined by you both, especially our special guests. So excited to get into this card, man.
All right, and my friend Zaid, who is the king of Chicago. Zaid, tell the people who you are and how excited you are for this card.
Yeah, so do a lot of work with Props USA. We give out our MMA picks every single week. I dropped my best bet article 2 days ago. I dropped my video for my two best bets of the year for this card, UFC 288. The return of Henry Cejudo. We got a huge fight this weekend with Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns, title eliminator fight. I can't wait to break it down with you guys.
Yeah, I am so fucking pumped. And if you weren't already pumped for this UFC card, guys, if you weren't already pumped, I don't know if anybody has heard, but there is a fight in June at UFC London, and it's Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts, and he's great. And that's great, everybody, that Danny Roberts is there. But who is he fighting? Johnny motherfucking Parsons finally makes his debut. Johnny fucking Parsons is going to beat Danny Roberts. He's going to beat the next five guys. He's going to win the title. What title? Any title. All the titles. Before we start off, thank you guys so much for watching us on a Friday before the pay-per-view. I want to shout the chat. We got JH. It's Snackapova. He doesn't tell me he's Snackapova. I know he's Snackapova. We got Wahoo Straw. Oi! We got our guy Dixon, who said, he's like, how do you know who Menudo is? I'm like, bro, I'm like fucking 90. Of course I know who Menudo is. We got Victor De Jesus, one of my guys. We got XBL on Twitch. Brian, who Monk is the reigning champion 2 weeks in a row. This must be completely
coincidence. I don't know.
We got my guy Brandon Propaholic. Put a shirt on, you son of a bitch, the next time, And we got Pat, who thinks he is Braxton Smith, and this is not like a racial comment.
Braxton Smith got nothing on Pat.
But he literally, but it's not a racial comment. Pat literally told me, he goes, this is what I feel like would be me in the UFC. So, but we'll get to that fight. If you could, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the MMA Engine channel. And I'm an asshole because I should be putting Zaid's shit up because you guys should be following him. He does so much cool shit in so many sports. All right, Zaid, I'm gonna handle this right now. Don't worry, buddy.
It's all good, man.
No, Monk, lead us off, dude.
Sounds good. We will kick it off, guys. We unfortunately lost two fights today. They were the first and third fight. Don't even ask me who it was because honestly, I've pushed it out of my brain. Like I said, it's 100 degrees. I can only keep the stuff that I really need. So we're going to start it off with Claudio Ribeiro going against Joseph Holmes, the third person to miss weight today. 189. He missed by 3 pounds at middleweight, but this fight is the one that stays on the card. Some big, possibly big DraftKings implications here. $8,900 for Claudio Ribeiro. $7,300 for Holmes. Tons of people on Ribeiro. They were less, or I should say he was less than impressive, to say the least, against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. A lot of people are looking at him here for a rebound against Joseph Ugly Man Holmes. Actually, yeah, don't call me Joseph. He prefers
Fatty.
Yeah, Ugly Man Holmes here. Lost to Jamie Pickett, guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. He's only beat the worst fighter in the world at middleweight, Alan Amedovski. I personally lean Ribeiro, but honestly, he hasn't done enough to make me want to trust him. 8,900 is a shitload of money, so I just don't know if I'm ready to put it on him. Can you guys convince me that Ribeiro is a good enough that he'll win dominantly enough that I can play him in DraftKings? Or should I be contrarian and play Joseph Holmes?
You know, honestly, I think you hit it on the head with the 8,900. I don't think it's a price tag, you know, you could pay for, especially with the uncertainty in Ribeiro. You know, I bet Al Hassan on that most recent fight. I just don't think there's anything really special about him. And, you know, the price tag is hefty. I think that there's other spots on the card that you could take and you know, spend your money better, to be honest with you.
I tend to agree.
I have a tracked bet on this. So I bet Ribeiro. I bet Ribeiro round 1, round 2 minus 110. I'm just Holmes' physicality is like I'm convinced I could beat up Joseph Holmes.
And that's his path. So yeah, I agree. If he wins, I think it's early.
Do you know why I'm convinced I could beat up Joseph Holmes? Because if I just shoved him and he backed up against the bar of the wall, the wall of the bar, he's not gonna fight me off. He didn't fight Jamie Pickett off, just like being like, dude, you're against the cage and we're gonna stay here. He has no physicality. The only thing I worry about here, look, the only thing I worry about on the Holmes side is like Ribeiro. There's a lot of leg kicks, so if like Holmes catches one and like gets a takedown because of it, I guess like that's where I'm in trouble. But if Ribeiro's just backing him up, like look at Ribeiro's first round against Al Hassan. Like, yeah, he got knocked out by Al Hassan in the second round, but he won the first round and he just out physicaled Al Hassan. Like he had no fear of him. You think he's gonna fear going like that same strategy against Holmes? No, he's gonna fuck him up. So I like Ribeiro round 1, round 2, and let's go.
Yeah, could be interesting. I mean, maybe, you know, obviously I'll be playing the Ribeiro side, probably not a lot on the Holmes side. Just neither guy, in my opinion, is too trustworthy, but we'll see what happens.
By the way, Mike's MMA picks gets me hyped for life.
There we go.
And he told me the other day to stay the course, and I have stayed the course.
Oh, shit. I see a slammy in the chat. And I think Jordan Wright would smash Alan Amedovski for the record. Next fight. Newcomer.
We got this maniac in the chat. Justin Vegas. Monk, do we have this stat? Is this in our database?
Did Charles Johnson win with purple hair? I don't remember.
No, he lost.
That's the only one I can think of. If you want to call that hair, what he had on the back of his head.
CJ,
Shout out Slammy in the house.
Well, in all fairness, I've been messaging him. So for you guys who didn't know, it's my friend lives in Alabama. I have been messaging him all day being like, Johnny Parsons is fighting. When am I coming down to Alabama? We got our boy Lando here. And we got our boy Danny Betts
in the house.
So, all right.
He's telling me to play Ribeiro. I kind of don't mind it. Ikram Alaskarov, next fight. Newcomer. No, actually, he does have a Dana White Contender Series fight going against established at this point 6-fight UFC veteran Phil Hawes. Lou, why don't you go ahead and get us started off with this one? Because for me, as of this moment, it's kind of dog or pass for DraftKings.
Oh, I have I have 2 track bets in this fight. I took a shot on Hawes at plus 160. I don't think that Alaskarov, we're paying the OV tax here, and like I think Hawes can keep this on the feet. If this stays on the feet, I love Hawes. Yes, he can get bonked, but at plus 160 for a stand-up fight against a Russian who I don't think a Dagestani that doesn't have like the greatest stand-up. I'm all day on Hawes, and I have a minus 105 bet. One of my bigger bets of the night, fight to end in KO. Alaskarov's not like a great submission like wrestler. His subs on tape are arm bars from the bottom. I don't think Hawes is
right.
Yeah, but I don't think Hawes is going for takedowns here. Like Alaskarov, if he gets on top, is ground and pounding Hawes, who has no chin. And if it stays on the feet, I love Hawes to get a knockout here. So minus 105. I love the play here, which is to fight to end in KO. But I am on the Hawes side. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with you. I'm on the Hawes side. I know for a fact Sharp Money has came in on the Hawes side. I was able to get it at plus 170 when it first opened. I'm not sure if it opened even higher than that, but I jumped at the plus 170 price tag. I think he's sitting around 155, 160 right now. Overall, it's Alascarov's UFC debut coming off the Contender Series. I don't think the competition in the scene that he faced was as tough as a Phil Hawes, and I think this is one of the spots where you have to back Hawes, who, sometimes you look at Hawes and you think, wow, this guy could be a potential, future champion and move up in the ranks. And there's other performances you look at Hawes, you're like, damn, I wasn't expecting that, But overall, I think if Hawes comes in with a good game plan, keeps it on the feet and standing, I think at his price tag, I like the shot at it at plus 160 or plus 170 if you could get it.
Love it. Monk, what are you doing?
I love it. I'm
Is
dogger
it
pass.
100%?
I don't know if it's 100%, but it's close. I'm dogger pass here. It's just that. Plus, I agree with what both of you gentlemen said, but also Phil Hawes has proven himself to be one of the better DraftKings scorers, at least at the weight class. Almost 5 points a minute in his middleweight fights, 109 when he wins. He's putting up triple digits pretty frequently, it seems like. 135 against Jaron Wynn is absolutely crazy. He was really close to 100 against Imavov and close to 100 against Daukaus. At 7,100, if he gets a win, we're looking optimal here. So I'm going with the UFC veteran against the unproven OV in Alaskarov here. So Alaskarov's just going to have to prove it to me before we can roster him, especially at 9,100. What did we say about the $8,900 fighter, that it might not be worth it in Ribeiro? This dude's even more unproven, and he's $200 more going against an established UFC vet.
Monk.
So yeah,
Monk. Victor is like a big supporter of the channel. He wants this, but more importantly, Dixon is finally letting me get this. Braxton, he said Justin, but I'm trying to get this. Zaid, I've been trying to get this nickname for Braxton Smith off the ground. His nickname should be Pork Chop.
It's better than the beautiful monster.
The beautiful Braxton Pork Chop Smith. Now, for those of you guys that know,
Evanescence album.
Because I'm old as shit. There's an old school wrestler, Pork Chop Cash. And I just think Pork Chop's one of these nicknames that needs to be brought back around. And dude, everything I've seen on tape with Braxton Smith, it's like Pork Chop, bro. Give me Pork Chop for this guy's nickname. Zaid, do you have any problem with him being Braxton Pork Chop Smith?
I do not, and I agree with you. And after watching some of his tape, man, I think Parker Porter is going to roll here. And I see a prop KO, I believe, plus 250 right now. This fight's ending inside the distance. What is Parker Porter going to submit him? I don't see it. I think he's going to knock him out. I like the plus 250 price tag. That's one of my plays for this weekend. I think Parker Porter's overall just the better boxer, and I think that's what it's going to come down to on fight night. I think Braxton Smith's really sloppy on the feet, and he's a guy that kind of swings wild from what I've seen, and I'm backing Parker Porter here.
Monk, you go.
I think we're going to be in pork chops Saturday night.
Monk, you go next, please, before I put up the disclaimer.
Yeah, this fight, man, I wish we didn't have to play it, but on Wednesday, the Kill Shot podcast, shout out to Marley and Geek over there. I said that this probably wasn't a must-play fight. I still don't think it's 100%, and I wish it wasn't a must-play fight, but I think you have to target one of these two sides here. And I'm with Zaid, man. Pork chop. Pork. See, there's too many porks going around now.
Pork chop, dude. I'm making it happen.
This is the double pork fight. Give me the Parker Porter though. I'm with Zaid, 8,600. I think I'll probably have more of him rostered than Smith. I'll have a bit of Smith, but again, you've heard it all week, so I won't harp on it. This dude's never been outside of 2 minutes. He lost his first fight. Then 8 years later, he comes back and KOs 5 dudes in a row. I believe basically all cans. Let's see. His strength of schedule is one of the worst on the card. So yeah, all cans. I'm comfortable in saying inside of 2 minutes. So if this goes, this is just like Tafa and little Usman, who's not very little. It's just like the countless low-level heavyweight nonsense fights we've seen. That one guy, he's going to knock him out, and then the other guy, as long as he extends the fight a little bit, it goes the complete opposite direction. So give me Porter here, while everybody else hopefully is on Smith.
And like you said, you mentioned cans. I strongly believe Smith is a can himself as well, and I think we're going to see that on Saturday. I really like the Porter side, and a lot of sharp money has came in on the Porter side throughout the week as well. So I tend to agree with it, and I think at plus 250 on knockout, you get it right now on FanDuel. I think that's a great bet to look at this weekend.
Yeah, and sorry, Lou, real quick before you go, this is another instance of established UFC vet. No matter what you think of Parker Porter's level in this game, this is an established UFC vet going against a guy with less than like 10 minutes of total fight time in the cage, and none of them have been in the UFC cage.
Yeah. By the way, so shout out to my dude Fight Talk. If you guys aren't following him, he's building up. He shouts all of us out. He supports a lot of people in the community. Like, give my boy Fight Talk only a follow in the community. I'm also undefeated giving him picks. I'm the only guy undefeated giving him picks. So I don't know his stat. I know I'm undefeated, so I assume I'm the only guy that's undefeated. So I have put up the crawler so you two can take a fucking walk for this comment. I'm fucking tired of betting Parker Porter by round 2 submission. He fucked up against Bideau. He fucked up against. He's the worst. Fuck Parker Porter. I'm sorry. I'm doing Iron Sheik now. Fuck the Parker Porker. Fuck. He is jabroni. He is like the Hulk Hogan. He is worse than the Hulk Hogan. He is the fucking Porter. He probably wins here very easily. Braxton Smith has 1 minute of cardio. He throws punches like I tried to throw people out from home plate the one time I played left field in high school. He throws punches like a baseball. This dude, there's nothing on his tape. And what a better way to have a career than to he gets knocked out by Chase Sherman and then retires for 8 years. And he's like, I just want to know the conversations that he had where he's like what montage played where he's like, babe, I got something left to prove. I need a montage, a montage.
It takes 8 years to get over losing to Chase Sherman.
I'm just doing the South Park. I need a montage. So he listened to let's assume he listened to Eye of the Tiger and did tons of cocaine for a year. And he's like, I need to fight again. And then he fought the same dude twice, Ja'Cory, never going to fight here again, and beat him twice in a minute. And he's like, I am ready for the fucking UFC. What are they doing here?
I don't even know how he's on the card. I'm dead serious. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. You just needed someone?
Well, like the UFC and Dana White thinks we love our bullshit heavyweight matchups. And as somebody who loves car crashes, I love it. But Porter is so Norco Cop. Mike was on the show last night at the panel, and we're talking about this under 1.5 being -190. He goes, it's not even. He's like, dude, it's not even juiced high enough. Like, I will fucking hammer this, and I'm in a complete agreement. Like, if this fight goes past 7.5 minutes, there's only one fight that was meme worthy that went past this mark. Zayd, do you know what it was? Monk, do you know what it was? You want to guess? By the way, here's my hint. It wasn't in the UFC. It was in Bellator. Do you want to know the one fight that went past 7.5 minutes where it was like, how the fuck did this fight go this long? Guess.
Recent?
It was in Bellator.
How recent?
Last 10 years.
Oh, fuck. I'm not going to know, man.
Monk, you want to guess?
I don't remember if it was Bellator. Was it the Kimbo fight?
Kimbo versus Dada 5,000 were like the dude literally
had a heart attack. Like he was literally dying.
But this was a fight where how the fuck did this fight go? Dude, it went to the end of the 3rd round and it ended with Dada just went down. He didn't get hit. He's like, fuck this. I'm done. I'm fucking gassed. This is that fight, dude. This is that fucking fight. And I am here I live for shit like this. I live for yam bags. This is a really close second. That these two fat motherfuckers are going to entertain me for 7 minutes of my life. It's what I'm here for. So
and Porter did come in looking a little slimmer. I mean, you guys see on the scale.
So here's the bet. Go to FanDuel and bet Porker round 2, round 3 KO at plus 850. Because you have to go back 11 years for the last Porker round 1 finish. He's not in a rush, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I'm just telling you, Hit that round 2, round 3. 850 KO. Take it.
That's not terrible. You find worse
Look up
numbers here.
I know what fucking Porky's is, motherfucker. Danny, I'm the king of Philly, not you.
Let's see. We've got.
By the way, our chat's popping. Jenna's here.
is.
Mr. D. Never play. Well, look. Yes, round 2 pays more than round 1. Dude, round 2, round 3 is pretty. Go Flamingo in the chat, by the way.
Hey now.
Oh, and Moyes. Moyes is like the biggest troll, but like my favorite fucking dude. He's one of my favorite fucking dudes. By the way, Moyes, I'll be back with Aaron very soon. We'll be talking. And
there you go.
no, sorry, we just Danny's like, oh, you should go to this place, Philly. Motherfucker, I know Philly, brother. Come on, brother. All right, Monk. Sorry. Here we go.
We're good. Strawweight fight here between Marina
Twitter war
Rodriguez,
number 1.
Virna Jandiroba. That's right. Why don't you start us off with this one? Rodriguez Jandiroba. Who's going to take it? Are you looking dog here?
I'm going to pass to Zayd. I have no bet here. If you got Verna at like plus 170, great.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and that's what I was going to mention. Sharp money did come in on Verna. Marina Rodriguez, I mean, I bet her in the past, and she has the worst takedown defense in the world. Like, it's so frustrating watching her fight, and I think you have to respect the grappling upside of her opponent. And I think if you got it at plus 160, plus 170, it was a great bet. I don't know what it's at right now. I think 145, 150 maybe. But overall, Marina Rodriguez, great on the feet, great fight overall. If she could keep it standing, she's going to light her up. But I don't know if she could keep it standing because her takedown defense is horrible. I think any one of us could go out there and take her down for 3 rounds, no problem, honestly. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think Mackenzie Dern took her down. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie Dern doesn't take. She has like a 9% takedown.
Monk, you and I talked about this fight Wednesday. This is tricky DFS wise, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm leaning fade though, man. Neither of these women score well at all. Marina is like barely over 2 points a minute, 81 points per win in her last 4 wins. And this includes, let's see, she lost to Lemos, but beat Yan Xiaonan, very close fight. Beat Mackenzie Dern, beat Waterson Gomez, who didn't look terrible in her last fight. Was it against Pinheiro? I can't remember. And then beat Amanda Ribas as well. So has a decent little run outside of her last loss to Lemos, who looked decent after she got standing arm triangled by another person on this card earlier. So I kind of was leaning Rodriguez at first, but I think if you're gonna play it, you're gonna want to have more Jandiroba just because she has the wrestling upside. I think her ceiling is higher, and the stats back that up as well. She doesn't average a ton, almost 3 a minute, but 90 per win. So I think if I have to choose one, I'm choosing Virna. It's the better salary as far as salary voodoo goes. She has the higher ceiling, the wrestling upside, whereas Marina, without a knockout or a knockdown at least, I don't know really how she scores very well. What do you got on this one?
I have no bet on this.
Oh yeah, you have nothing.
Yeah, you passed, yeah.
But I'm with you, Monk. I actually think this is like a complete DFS fade. We talked about this on the Wednesday show. Dude, it's not like Verna's not like scoring like 9 takedowns a fight.
Nope.
Like everybody's like, oh,
she should be able to secure one if she needs it here.
But she's not active. She's not active on the ground.
Yeah.
Like she's not scoring points.
I just feel like if she gets her down, like Rodriguez has no sense of urgency to just get back up to her feet. Like, and I've seen it in other fights. She's just sitting there in guard, and she's, there's nothing really she can do. And it's like all she does need is one to ride her out for the round. It's like, okay, you do that 2 rounds, you win the fight.
That's it. Exactly.
That's how I viewed the fight. I mean, I think if Rodriguez does keep it standing, she's gonna light her up on the feet, and I truly believe she could finish her on the feet. I just don't know if she could do it. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. And Verna's shown no signs of ever slowing down when she's shooting and getting or not getting those takedowns. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think all the chatter, I've heard some very smart people all on Verna's side, so it might be kind of swaying me a bit. Next fight, we'll keep it moving. Why is this fight happening? Chaos Williams going against Rolando. Is he Brazilian? I don't know. Is it Rolando or is it Rolando?
Don't be a racist.
We're going to go with Rolando Bedoya here. I don't know why this fight's happening. Huh?
Safe.
Exactly. Let's keep it safe. KS Williams is my pick to win, but he is not proven to be a good DraftKings scorer at all. I like several people more than him in this range. Maybe not several. There aren't several people in this range, but the guy directly below him at 9,400, I'll roster him 100 times out of 100 over KS Williams. He only scores 93 per win. I expect him to get the win here. The $6,700 salary, Zaid, if you're into DraftKings, has like a 4.7% win rate since January of 2021, less than 5%. It's like 2 wins out of like 42 or 44 attempts, something crazy like that. So I would be a fool to think that Bedoya is going to win here. I'd be a fool whether he was 6,700 or not to think that probably. But I'm going to go with Williams. I'm not betting it, though. Is there any – I'm probably not going to – I'm going to be well under the field on Williams, though, as far as DraftKings. Is there any way you can find a way to bet this one, or is this just a big pass overall?
I think it's a pass overall in this spot. And, you mentioned, paying the price tag if you should. I wouldn't, like you said. I agree with what you're saying 100%. I think Williams does not throw a lot of volume. If he connects, it's going to be a one-hitter quitter type of fight. He could score high, but I mean, it's I don't see it. I agree with you 100%. And for me, betting wise, I think this is just a pass.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's too many juicy lines left here or ever existed in the first place. Lou, what do you got?
Danny can fuck off, dude. Danny can fuck off. Well, head paper. No. You and your enormous cranium.
I just watched that right before I moved. How crazy is that?
Dude, all right. So anybody that's watched this show, and Monk can say this better than anybody else. By the way, I wore this Happy Cinco de Mayo, bitches. That's it.
There we go.
Monk, I hate betting minus odd shit, right?
Yes,
I don't bet juice. Even, dude, Zaid, I'm like, I see plus 1,000. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I have a
100%.
juice boy. I have a John Kelly juice boy on this card. It's Chaos Williams money line, which I'm going to get to in a second. It's Evlov money line, and it's Porker not in the third round. If anybody that's listened to me all year, I get really nervous when you bet these in-the-distance props to cheat lines against guys that have never been lost or knocked out. I'm going to make an exception here. I think Williams KOs are right here because Bedoya has been rocked. Like 3 of the 4 fights I watched on him in the regionals, dude got dropped. If Williams drops him, he's not getting up. And what I like about Chaos Williams, I don't think he has like a huge ceiling in the UFC. And I said this last night, he's very economical with his punches. Like, yeah, he has 2 1-minute finishes, but he's not a dude dumping his cardio to get a 1-minute finish. He's patient. Like I think his Randy Brown fight is what you should really look at. I had a Randy Brown decision prop in that fight. So and I don't think I got lucky, but if you had Williams in that fight, you have a valid gripe. Super close fight. But Chaos Williams, that whole fight against Randy Brown, who is a dude who can frustrate opponents, patient. Everything Williams threw was perfect. Like, I love him here. I think this line's not wide enough. Like, he's probably like 7-1 against Bedoya, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And I had Randy Brown in that fight, huge. And I was shocked of how
you were nervous. You were nervous.
Yeah, I was. And I was shocked, like you mentioned, how patient he was. And like we all said,
he never looks tired.
Yep. And
right?
and there's no volume there. Like, he picks his shots well. He's gonna look for his shot. And I think that's why, you could take him, but does it justify the price is the real question.
Well, and I hate juice boy shit. I know our boy John Kelly loves this crap, like 9-leg parlay to pay plus 200, but I there's no path for Bedoya here, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's none.
Yeah.
And
outside of something shocking.
And I'll tell you this right now. I saw somebody saying Williams minus 3.5 was minus 225 to cut down that line a little bit. I love that, dude. I really do. Because I don't see Bedoya winning one. I don't see how Bedoya wins around here. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a chalk it up to why is this fight happening. Here's a decent fight on the undercard here. Kennedy and Chukwu going against Devin Clark. Kennedy and Chukwu 9K this week, 7,200 for Devin Clark. I've heard a lot of people on both sides of this one. I think this is kind of a middling fight that you have to target a little bit, somewhere in like the 25-30% range for maybe each guy, or choose one depending on who you think. Kennedy really doesn't score well, as I talked about on the Wednesday show, 3 points a minute, 85 per win, but somehow he's found himself optimal in 3 out of his past 6 fights. I have no idea how that's happening. His average salary, though, is $8,300. He's significantly more expensive than that this week, so keep that in mind. You're probably not going to get much outside of a first-round knockout to go with that 9K salary. Devin Clark, on the other hand, he could win a split decision here, score 80 points, and make the optimal at 7,200. So he's found himself optimal as well. He averages 10 points more than Nchukwu per win. So I don't really like this fight for DraftKings, but I will have a little bit of exposure to each side. Lou, what do you think? Oh, Lou's gone. Zaid, what do you?
I'll take it. Yeah. Honestly, with Clark, I feel like I know a lot of people personally that are on the Clark side at the dog price at maybe like plus 160, plus 170 ish. I want to say that they're at. I don't know if it went down a little bit more than that now, but I mean, a lot of people like Clark, and I think, you know, Kennedy on the other side it's a spot to fade him. You know, I think I wouldn't play him on the DraftKings side. I'm not really much of a DFS expert myself, but I mean, I don't think it justifies a price tag of paying him. I don't think he's going to score.
There's just not much to offer that he offers as far as, you know, volume for the most part.
I think it's going to be a boring fight. Maybe I think Clark could edge out a decision. I don't see Kennedy throwing a lot of volume and getting a finish here. I just don't. Especially like a lot of people I respect in the industry are on Devin Clark. So I have to go with their opinion 100%.
Yeah, and I'm terrible. I said it on the Wednesday show, I'm terrible at picking Kennedy fights, and I'm equally terrible at picking Devin fights. So I'm just trying to listen to the experts as well this week. Go ahead, Lou. Yes, sir.
No, it won't take long. Have you guys been watching me since I started? What's my bet here?
Oh, it's got to be wait. We've got an Orthodox versus Southpaw matchup, don't we? At light heavyweight. Are we going yam bags or split decision?
It's yam bags. This is yam bags.
Yam bags.
I'm gonna go finish what I was doing. I came back. It's yam bags. Get to the next fight.
I absolutely love that. Of course, you have to check
Yammers, bitches.
Southpaw versus Orthodox matchup. That's when you know, and you got to with a low level fight. Lou's taking yam bags. Well, let's move it on to what I consider one of the most exciting fights on the card, and I believe this one is headlining the prelims, if you want to call it that. The lead-in fight to the main event. Drew Dober. Actually, let me check that. Yeah, Drew Dober going. Omaha's own 402 Drew Dober going against Matt the Steamroller Frivola. I love this fight, Zaid. I think that for DraftKings, this is pretty much a must target. Yes, no. Drew Dober does not score very well overall, but the main issue here is when Matt Frivola wins, he scores 112 points, almost 4 points a minute. I mean, the best value on the card numerically, best value per win. And when Matt Frivola loses, his opponents make the optimal lineup. He gives up 126 points per loss. You got to target Matt Frivola fights, both sides, because you have no idea what's going to happen. Dober's never been chinned. I mean, he has been finished by KO TKO once in his career. Was that in the UFC? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it was just in his pro career. Has never been finished by KO TKO in the UFC. But man, if anybody could, somebody's getting knocked down here and popping back up. I mean, this is going to be a back and forth fight. I'm targeting both sides almost 100% probably. And honestly, Frivola at 7K, I mean, that's if he wins, this is slate breaking material, and he's done it before. This is an absolute steal. So you have to roster Frivola, and I'm going to be rostering some of Dober as well. I mean, it's either going to be Dober, chinning Frivola and putting him down and getting the finish, or Frivola might actually use his wrestling. Maybe you guys could back me up or tell me I'm wrong for thinking that. But if he chooses to, there's a decent path here for Frivola. What do you guys think?
Yeah, overall, I think this is a fight you have to roster both fighters. You have to have exposure to both sides here. I think this fight's going to be absolute fireworks on both sides. Frivola's coming in as an underdog, I believe. What is he, plus 180-ish, if I'm correct?
Yeah, something like that. I did these yesterday. I didn't have time to update him, but he was 170 yesterday.
And I think, it's maybe priced a little bit too wide if I had to guess, but I think somebody's getting dropped here in this fight. Somebody's gonna have to get back up. Dober has been through more battles. He is a battle tested guy, hence I think why he's a favorite. Against Bobby Green, had a great fight back and forth. I thought he would look better in the Bobby Green fight. I know he did finish him, but he took a lot of shots. Frivola has the power to put him out. I think you have to roster both sides here and have exposure to both sides. Overall, this fight for me is a pass. I don't feel strong on any other side, and I'm not going to lay minus 200 or minus 220 on a Drew Dober. I'm just not going to do it.
And then that'll help. That'll just make it easier for you to be able to lay back and actually enjoy the fight.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Lou?
So, man, I like all week I wanted to make a case for Frivola. Like, I think there's a path for him here. I legit think there's a path for him here. There's two things that got me off this. Number one is I don't think Frivola can hold him down for 15 minutes. Like, this is going to be on the feet at worst 6-7 minutes of this fight. And if it is, and look, Dober's super hittable. Like, watch the Bobby Green fight. Because Bobby Green was fucking teeing off on him round one. Teeing off him. And then Bobby Green's like, "What's up, bitches? I'm just gonna keep fucking doing this." And then Dober cracked him. He's like, "All right, my dude, easy. We're not gonna talk about the United game yesterday. That was not good for us." Dude, Dober, he's so hittable, man. McKinney knocked him down. The Alves fight, man, Alves was cracking him, and Frivola's got the power to fucking crack Dober. The problem is Dober is just stupid tough. And number one, I can't trust Frivola to go grapple heavy because he's hometown boy, sort of. He's got home cooking here, but man, if they go punch to punch, Monk, when we did the DFS show this week, my prize pick shit was under 40.5 strikes for Dober because, dude, if Dober hits him 40 times, he's dead.
It gotta be, right?
Yeah.
If you guys want to bet for, and I love Frivola, man. He's cool.
Same.
But if you're gonna bet Frivola, and for DFS, I don't think this affects it. Bet him decision at fucking plus 600, man. Because if he's going to win, he has to grapple, and
he'll have to grapple. He'll probably maybe have landed a knockdown as well. There could be a lot of points in it for Frivola decision.
I know he's in the Cerro Longo camp, and they're smart, they're drilling him well, but doesn't mean he's going to listen, man. This is the last fight on the prelims. Be pumped up, and Dober's get up games, no joke either. But I think Dober's not some dude with 9% takedown. Dober's a dude that can grapple. He can get up. I just think that this fight's going to be on the feet when it's not. Man, I just don't know how Dober doesn't find that chin at one point. I don't even think Frivola is as chinny as people think. Dude, McKinney knocked you out in 7 seconds. Fine. And him he get knocked out. And he got knocked out 11 years ago by Paul Rose. Fine. But Dober is a dude that dude, Bobby Green is not a dude that gets knocked out. And Dober fucked him up, man.
Yep.
What's he going to do to Frivola? If he lands one, it's going to take one shot in 15 minutes. So Dober KO's almost
it's likely going to be a timing shot or a counter possibly.
But I'm letting you know this right now. I'm laying off both dudes for DFS because.
Yep. I agree.
What is Dober on this slate, Monk? Now it's 12 fights, so it's a little different, but Dober needs a round one KO to kind of pay that off. He's not grappling, and he doesn't throw a lot of strikes. He kind of I think he's I'd go contrarian to the field here for me.
Yep. Under on Frivola or Dober.
Frivola, dude, if he wins, he breaks the slate.
Right.
Yep.
But I think he can win, man.
At 7K, he breaks the if he wins and you don't have him, you the best you can hope for
Vince
is
Carter.
money back.
So I think you have to have some
Vince
exposure.
Carter.
Some exposure to the Frivola side. I think it just
have
throw him
to.
in. Yeah, I mean, I think he does have the ability to win. And I mean, you look at, like, I didn't think Bobby Green was going to be fucking Dober up before he got knocked out like that. I didn't. And he landed a perfect shot, to end the fight.
Yep.
But Frivola has the tools to, take him down, grapple him a little bit. He could win a decision. McKinney looked great against Dober. Obviously, gassed out right away. That fight was ridiculous. But I think Frivola is live. I really do.
He's
I love
live. There's a path for him to win, and his path scores an insane amount of points.
Yep.
It's will he do it? Right, Dave?
Exactly.
Like it's will he be like, because dude, he's gonna be jazzed. He's like in front of his New Jersey crowd, and then like, dude,
he's gonna want to get that win for Aljo too.
I just don't think he's gonna want to like spend 15 minutes like I just don't, man.
No.
And, like,
maybe if he starts getting hurt, he can land one. That's probably when
I'm gonna
probably
pee.
won't see a takedown until he gets chin.
I'm gonna pee. Can you guys handle this for like a minute?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll start us off the main card. We've got another good fight. The return of Kron Gracie, the Montana Mountain Man, from all accounts, going against Charles Air Jourdain. One guy just trying to get north of the other one. That's all. Canada versus North Cali or Montana, depending on who you listen to. What do you think for this one, Zaid? Because I think this is an interesting fight. Normally, I'm looking at guys that have taken 3.5 years off, and I'm thinking, no way, but that's not the case for me here.
Yeah, I think it's just going to come down to if Gracie could take him down. He took a lot of punishment in his fight, which was a while back, but can Gracie just take him down? I think it's a classic striker versus grappler type thing. Jourdain looks, there's flashes on the feet that he has where he looks really, really good. And I think if he could keep his standing, he could clip Gracie. Gracie's not that great on the feet. He does have a chin, I could say that. I mean, he took a lot of punishment in his last fight, which was a while back. But I think Gracie's going to have to take him down if he's going to win this fight, obviously. I don't think there's like a secret here, but I would love to hear your thoughts on the fight as well.
Yeah, he cannot come out here with the Cub Swanson game plan trying to like prove himself. I mean, his name is Gracie. He should have already proved himself to his family. You know what I mean? Like you should already have that confidence coming out of that family. If they say that, you're the next thing, that should be your confidence right there. Normally I would lean Jourdain here, but I think he's untrustworthy, especially as far as like DraftKings. Even when he wins, like he scores very well, over 3.5 points a minute, but only 92 per win in his last 2 wins. And those are against Lando Venata and Andre Ewell. He only put up 91 points. Which one was the Spartan kick? Was that Venata or Ewell? I can't remember. Maybe it was Erosa, actually. No, he got subbed in that one. Doesn't matter. He's lost to Nathaniel Wood and Shane Burgos here. The issue is, and I heard somebody else say this too earlier today, Shane Burgos took this dude's back standing twice. He took Charles Jourdain's back stand. Shane Burgos, when I say the name Shane Burgos, you don't think of extraordinary. That's not the first thing that comes to your mind. So if he's taken his back standing twice, what is Kron Gracie going to do? He needs either one takedown or one opportunity to get his hands on Jourdain, and this shit could be a wrap. So honestly, this is another dog or pass situation for me. I'm going to be probably more heavy than I'm comfortable with, to be completely honest, on Kron Gracie. I'll have a little bit of Jourdain because he is fighting a guy that hasn't fought in 3.5 years. But man, 8,700 seems pretty steep. It seems to be a theme for me. A lot of expensive guys don't even average triple digits when they win. So it's like, how am I supposed to get to a ton of them, especially when their opponent's path to victory is, submission, and the guy has no idea what to do when somebody has his hands on him. So I lean Gracie here. Lou, what do you think about this one?
I think if you're following Effie on Twitter, unfollow him, block him. He is the worst. He is the worst kind of human being. Effie's my dude. I love I took the poke on Gracie round 1 submission. I have him by submission. Look, man, I think Jourdain's just not a good fighter. But here's why I really love Gracie here. What does Jourdain do? Throws spinning shit, There's crazy attacks. Like
Wild man.
Jordan's not sitting there like, oh, I want to jab this guy. Like I want to implement my boxing. I want to win a fight. No, he's out there like throwing. Okay, dude, I don't think Kron Gracie's like some great MMA fighter, but the best thing for him is a guy who throws spinning attacks where his back is just literally there to take. Gracie takes him down once this fight's over. Jourdain gives up his back routinely when he gets taken down. He stinks. Jourdain's not a good fighter. He's a fun fighter. He's not a good fighter. Kron Gracie, everybody's like, oh man, he's been in Montana or wherever, or like, parts unknown. Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior's from parts unknown. He was all right.
Well, also they might all be referencing an old post if you listen to the Santino podcast this week.
Like Kron Gracie hasn't fought in 3.5 years, and he's on a main card in a pay-per-view. They must know something that we don't. Like
he's gonna shine here, and I think
I think he's gonna fuck Jourdain up, dude.
Yeah, I think by tomorrow night he's closing plus 125, plus 130. I mean, you could get him right now plus 155.
I took the round one sub at plus 500. I took the sub at plus 225 or 240. I think he's just gonna, dude. He's gonna fuck.
Yeah, and if you're gonna bet it, like you said, you got to bet the sub. And
one more thing before we move on, this whole like Jourdain is this mythical round 3 unicorn. This motherfucker couldn't even finish Andre Ewell in round 3. Like he's had 2 finishes in 10 fights, man. Like Jourdain's like this. He's just not that good. He's fun. Look, man, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, my favorite fighters are on the UFC. Like I love
fighters.
Like I love GM3. I love Elkins. Like these are dudes. Willie whoop ass Gates. We want to go back. Like I love these motherfuckers. Doesn't mean they're good. Just means I like them. They're fights that I like watching. I love me a Charles Jourdain fight. It doesn't mean I think he's like a fucking contender. Did he beat Burgos? Well, I had a bet on Burgos, so I'll say no. But like the guys that Jourdain's look good against are bums. Like, and look, I don't think Kron Gracie's like a bum. I don't know. Everybody's like, oh man, his haircut. Like guys like Brady. Hey Brady, you're the worst. You wear a hat in your shows. Who wears a hat?
Like I said, it's because he focuses.
Who the fuck wears a hat when they do YouTube? I don't wear a hat. Look at my head. I've never worn a hat. Never. Have I ever worn a hat on a show ever?
No,
I wear hats.
I can't recall one show that you've actually put anything that could remotely be resembled a hat.
Never. I never wear a hat.
Not this show either.
And as the Iron Sheik, I don't respect it. I don't respect the hat. I don't respect that jabroni Hulk Hogan. I don't respect that Brady in his hat. Where are we?
I'm not on the haircut narrative.
Let's move on.
I'm not on the haircut narrative. This one's easy.
I don't respect the hat.
This one's easy. I'm gonna start this one off, man. I was on Evloev heavy even before Mitchell dropped out. I thought he was personally gonna run through Bryce Mitchell, to be quite honest. Evloev going against a guy who's never fought in the UFC on short notice. He's not the most expensive fighter on the card. Yeah, give me probably 100% of this fight. Before that, I mean, Evloev almost 5 points a minute, 102 per win. Let's see, in his last 2, Hakeem Dawodu, he put up 138, pretty good score there. And then 130 against Dan fucking Ige, who then went on to fight a wrestler in Damon Jackson and whoop his ass. He whooped Damon Jackson's ass. I remember that because I was like, oh, Dan Ige's got a problem with wrestling. No, he whooped Damon Jackson's ass. So I love Evloev here. I don't have anything else to say about it. He'll be in basically every single one of my lineups.
100%. And you know, there's nothing really more to say. You hit it on the head with everything. This guy is basically a tomato can they brought in last minute to, you know, make the fight happen. I loved him against Bryce Mitchell too, which, you know, it sucks that we can't get in the spot, but automatic must play for DFS. And even I know that, and I barely play DFS. You just have to have him in the lineup.
For sure. And I think I know Lou's answer since he got up and there he is. What do you got anything for this one?
We got one fan in the chat said he'd take my answer seriously if I had a fucking cigarette in my hand. So I just grabbed my fucking cigarette. I think Evloev's gonna win.
Great analysis. Great analysis.
Next.
All right. Yeah. Great analysis. Spot on.
I'm grabbing my ashtray. I did. That's enough of this shit. Hold on. I don't have any beer at home. I do a shui right now. I do a shui for Zayd. I do a shui for you. I ain't got no beer at home. My buddy's having a birthday party right now. By the way, just so you guys know, I was supposed to go to this fucking event, and then I heard my buddy didn't get tickets, like, because he can't go. So I can't go. I can't like snake his fucking shit. So whatever.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I was close to flying out for this event, and if I knew Muhammad and Burns was gonna go down like earlier, and I would have made the proper arrangements. And
I'm fucking pissed. I'm gonna go next week to Charlotte, and I'm gonna like, because Brady's gonna be there, and Brady's not gonna be married after this weekend. Ruin this game. I'm getting my ashtray. Let's go. Let's talk about this.
No concern with the size.
Correct. No concern.
No concern at all. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about this one, Zayd? Here, Jessica Andrade, because I know Lou and I are on different sides of this one. Jessica Andrade at strawweight going against Yan Xiaonan.
Yeah, I mean, Andrade coming in right now, sitting at -195 on FanDuel. I think she wins. I don't justify laying the price tag of a -195 if you're gonna bet it. I don't really have any bets on this fight. I think this is just a pass for me overall. I think this could go either way, which is probably why you guys are disagreeing on the outcome. But yeah, I would never lay no -195 on Jessica Andrade in the spot. I think she's gonna win though, but it just doesn't justify the price tag.
Lou,
you go. You go. No, you go, because we're gonna have an argument about this. So go ahead.
I'm on the well, all right, just for DraftKings. Look, you can only play.
Tell me how many points she scored against Murphy, Monk. Tell me why that matters here. That's what I want to know. Why does her 9,000 points against Lauren Murphy matter here?
It doesn't matter, because that was at a different weight class. She is slaughtering women at strawweight. Absolutely. I think she's 6-1 in 3-round strawweight fights. Yan Xiaonan on the other side doesn't even score 92 points per win in her last 3. Let's see, in her UFC career, it's 81, not even 82 points per win in her 7 UFC wins. Now, she is only 7,400 this week. Let's just look. Bear with me while I switch a bunch of screens. Let's see. Jessica Andrade, 6-1 in 3-round strawweight fights, guys. She scores 6 points a minute, allows 2. Inside the distance, she scores 11 points a minute, allows less than 2. Yan Xiaonan allowing almost 4 points a minute and scoring, again, 80 points per win, while Andrade is averaging 123 at the weight class. And no, that does not count the Lauren Murphy fight at flyweight. She's gotten triple digits, Lou, in 5 of her 6 wins. So I think if I'm a DraftKings player, I am rostering one side of this, and that is a shitload of Jessica Andrade.
Good for you.
The shitload.
I'm never betting this fight on the Andrade side at -200. We talked about this Wednesday night, and this is a very important fact. You guys were shocked that the fantasy score was only 81.5. You're like, this is a fucking no-brainer.
It's insanely low.
Okay, did you ask yourself why? Did you ask yourself why this is set so low? Does somebody know something you don't? Because there's no reason that score should be set so low.
So she's not going to be able to take Yan down?
Well, dude, when's the last time Andrade went for a takedown? 5 fights ago.
She landed one against Lauren Murphy.
No, she didn't. Okay, she tried like a bunch of... But, dude, in general, this is not a girl who goes for takedowns. And she's also shown to be kind of frustrated when plan A doesn't work. Dude, Yan can jab her all night. I have no bet on this fight. I'm letting you know right now. I favor Yan at the number. I have no bet. I am not betting this fight. If this number gets to +200 for Yan, I'm taking it. I think this is going to be a stand-up fight. I think Yan can kind of jab her and keep her at range and frustrate the fuck out of Andrade.
Jessica could also start her though too. I mean, I don't know. I can see that.
Her power at strawweight.
Yeah. Jessica could just. I mean, I don't know. I could see.
Yes, yes, I get it, but I'm not laying the number.
Yeah,
because
100%.
If Yan just stays at distance, and her boxing is good, very good.
Lemos was supposed to
and just jabs. She's going to win the fight. It's going to be ugly win decision.
Yeah.
I'm just not betting this at all. If I'm going to give you a bet, take
Lemos
Jan
was supposed
plus
to piece her up.
3.5 at like minus 130. That
Yeah.
Jan doesn't get finished, and wins one round. I think Jan can like kind of make it ugly. So, just what I'm saying here.
I mean,
No
Lemos
bet.
was
no
supposed
bet.
to piece her up, and
But
Lemos got standing arm triangle.
No bet. No bet for me here.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. I'm hoping Jessica gets a. I mean, she could flatline this chick, but it could look frustrating too.
If you're Andrade, like that's fine. I'm not betting the fight. I'm just saying I don't want to lay. There's a lot. My instincts tell me like there's something fucked up about this number. I'm not Brady. I'm a Marina Agabap. Like if
Brady's so fly by night. He just jumps from the most handsome fighter to the most handsome fighter. He's got no loyalty.
I'm letting you know, if Agapova was fighting, you'd see my boner.
He left Na Liang in the dust. He probably doesn't even remember her name. Next fight, Gilbert Burns.
His most handsome fighter is Zalgas now.
Yeah. Gilbert Burns going against Bilal Muhammad. Why don't you guys start us off with this one?
Zayd's got his two biggest bets of the year. This is why we have Zayd.
Okay, well, he can finish it off then. So I'll go ahead and start. I like the dog here. He's just because he scores better. I don't necessarily think this is a must play for DraftKings, although I will have 20-25% probably of around each side. But Bilal is the better scorer in almost every single category, even at the weight class, even in 5-round fights, which there haven't been a ton of. Bilal is the better scorer by about 10 points and like half a point per minute. So I'd look for Bilal. I'm personally picking him to win. I don't think either fighter scores well, but I think the chances of them, I think one of them, what am I trying to say here? I think they could score well. I don't think they do score well. So I'm rostering them a little bit in hopes that they don't. But this is going to be a banger of a fight. And somehow Bilal's made the optimal lineup in 3 of his past 6 fights. So Gilbert Burns is definitely his toughest opponent to date one of his toughest opponents to date, in my opinion. And if Trey Waters can come off of 2 weight making fights here in 3 weeks, Gilbert Burns is going to have no problem making weight for the second time. So give me Bilal Muhammad overall. Actually, and Gilbert Burns did make weight for the second time. So I just think it's going to be Muhammad. But a very close fight. I don't mind anybody picking Burns, and I would never bet this fight. Probably, I just don't have the balls to pick.
So I think we're conflicting. Okay, how do you see Muhammad getting it done? I'm just like really curious.
I mean, it would have to just be takedowns and control time, right? It would have to be he manages to get Burns down and somehow controls him long enough to make it count. Maybe drops a couple elbows, but Burns, man. He could literally like bench press this dude off of him. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'll let Lou go after you, but we'll talk right after. Go ahead, Lou. Just give us your thoughts here. Who do you like in this fight? And
I know you like the Burns side here.
Yeah.
So my bet for this fight is nothing pre-fight. I think if you like the Burns side, you bet him now. And I think you have to bet Burns inside the distance. I don't think he has decision equity here. I swear to God. I think as this fight goes on, Bilal will take over. I think if you like Bilal, you take him live. You bet him after round 1. You'll get him plus 180. Because I think Burns wins this fight round 1 at a very, very high clip. On the feet, I think it's very equal. In terms of the dynamic grappling, in terms of what gets the judges like off, everything Burns does is great. I love Gilbert Burns. I do. I don't like the 2 weight cuts. My friend Sharksta, you guys aren't following Shark, dude's a beast, gave me some insider info, and he said that Gilbert went right back into camp after his last fight. He hasn't been out of camp. I'm not worried about Gilbert's like weight cuts. I also know that Bilal wanted this fight at 185. Like, he's had to cut more weight than he wanted, and which is a big factor. Like, especially on Ramadan, these are a lot of big factors. What I know about Bilal is this: he's definitely taken some fucking supplements. Like, you watch him these last 3 fights, it's different. He's on some fucking shit. I don't care about getting sued. It's very clear he's on some fucking shit.
And it's funny. I was sitting with,
You know it too, Zaid. He's on some fucking shit.
Okay, so I was sitting with, we always watch it together, me and my cousins, and Bilal, he's from Chicago. I've been to the gym that he trains at multiple times. I've watched him in the regional scene, getting up all the way to the UFC, to all the fights he's had. And I feel like a traitor picking against him here is like my best bet of the year. But I don't see the path to victory for him. I think when you look at his opponents he's faced in the past, man, yeah, he's beaten, quote unquote, top 5 guys of a Stephen Thompson. He fought a Stephen Thompson who Burns, he wrote the game plan to how to beat Stephen Thompson. You wrestle him. Thompson doesn't have any wrestling. He fought a Damian Maia that was 50 something years old. I don't count those as wow wins. Even Sean Brady, who has Sean Brady beat? Has Sean Brady beaten everyone? Look at Sean Brady and look at his fights. Michael Chiesa is his best win, arguably, and it's not a good win. I think Bilal Muhammad is going to be, you look at the fight with Leon Edwards. I know he got eye poked, but in the first round, you saw Edwards pressuring him because he has the power edge. Bilal, while he does have, respectable striking now, he does not have any power in his hands. And that, even that TKO with Brady, like he was teeing off on him, but he couldn't knock him out. I think Burns is going to be the aggressor in this fight. There is no shooting and taking down Gilbert Burns, especially like a Bilal Muhammad, whose wrestling is great, but not as dominant as a Khamzat Chimaev, who we saw take Burns down and Burns pop right back up.
They're very different fights. They're very different fights.
Yes, I agree, but I think
I agree with you that I don't think
if Bilal holds him down for 5 rounds or even 2-3 rounds, here, just take my money. Go ahead, you guys win.
It's the late round. I don't think anybody disagrees about the first 2 rounds. I think Burns is super fucking live.
I think the pressure.
People are worried about when this fight extends, Zaid. That's where people worried.
Yeah, but I think Burns is gonna. Like you guys said, he's coming off a fight with Masvidal. It was a 3-round fight. Don't get me wrong, but he's a guy that's been in camp shape. It's not like he had even time to get out of fight camp. The fight literally just happened, and I'm not worried about the 2 weight cuts. I don't think it's gonna affect him as much. It's not like he's ballooned up since then. He's stayed in camp. He stayed ready for his opportunity, and I think. Overall, man, Bilal doesn't have the power in his hands to get the job done. I think Burns is going to be aggressive. I think Burns' gas tank will hold up. I think he's going to pressure him, keep on his back foot. Bilal, and here's the question is, will Bilal press and come forward? He will not press and come forward. I will bet you guys any dollar you want, Bilal's going to be on the back foot in this fight. Burns has too much power, and Bilal's going to respect it. I see Bilal similar to how he fought Luque, dancing around on the outside, moving away from the power hand, and that's what he's going to do. But he will not have the takedowns. That's the difference. And I think we saw against Lyman Good. Lyman Good was pressuring Bilal. What do you guys think Gilbert Burns is going to do?
Lyman, by God.
Good. Seriously, if a guy like Lyman Good is, and Lyman Good had power, he almost put him out in that 3rd round. I think he's going to pressure him against the cage. Bilal's going to have nowhere to go, and he's going to get clocked. And it's sad to say, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. But this is my biggest bet of the year. I'm all over Gilbert Burns. And the odds reflect that, and I feel like agree with me. He opened up at -180. We had a lot of guys come in betting on Bilal Muhammad, especially the public. They saw him as an underdog the last how many fights, continues to win. But I think this is where the train ends. I think this is the big step up in competition. Sean Brady looked like a step up in competition, but he was not. I can guarantee that. And Brady pieced him up too. I'm just gonna say that. Even though Brady gassed completely, he looked good on the feet against Bilal Muhammad, and that's overall. I'm just so passionate about this fight because it's literally my biggest bet of the year.
For sure. And yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that, man. Especially, do you think he gets him done inside the distance?
I think he can. Yes, I think Bilal, he's taken a lot of punishment in the past, and Lyman Good almost put him away. Jeff Neal almost put him away. Vicente Luque almost put him away. There's a lot of times when he's on his back foot, he struggles, with guys with power. They pressure him, and it's hard for him to dance around that long, especially it being a 5-round fight. And I'm not really that concerned about the gas tank. Chimaev, it was a 3-round war. Bilal Muhammad is not. True. He's going to be on the back foot. He's not going to be pushing the pace. Gilbert Burns controls the pace in this fight. I truly believe that.
That's true. Honestly, man, when you start to think of that Khamzat fight, yeah, that's a lot of questions answered on the Burns side. So you might have convinced me there. Maybe put a little bit more exposure on the Burns. And at 8,200,
Fuck the Ted DiBiase.
I'm Monk. I'm all in here. I am all in on Burns. Like
I
all
love it, man. Well, I'll increase my exposure just because of that for sure. Because I mean, yeah, like I said, you start thinking about that Hamzat fight, and you're like, yeah, he never slowed down against Hamzat. Hamzat never slowed down either. So
yeah, and that was like all the volume you could possibly have.
Yeah,
all the volume you could possibly have. You're telling me that Bilal Muhammad and Burns are going to have more volume than Chimaev and Burns?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and he was still going strong. You know, this guy's a monster, bro.
Good points, man. I'm excited for this fight for sure.
Yeah,
and hopefully Colby gets shelved for the winner of this fight to get the
I 100% agree.
I hope so, man. They deserve it so much more.
Yeah, and it's funny. Bilal came out and said like, "Oh, I have a theory of like, oh, don't press the charges against Masvidal and we'll let you fight for the title." Man, you never know, but it's just funny to think about, you know. But overall,
you never know. You never know because Jamal Hill is the current light heavyweight championship. He didn't even think he would be the light heavyweight championship 100%. At this point. So
fuck the Ted DiBiase.
Anything could happen. We did it, guys. We'll hit the like in the channel here on the video, and we want to thank Zaid again one more time so much for his time and for joining us here. It's been fantastic breaking down these 12 fights with you. Really appreciate it for UFC 288. And you please absolutely do what the crawler says on the bottom. Follow him at Zaid_Hussein for his UFC takes. Does a bunch of NFL stuff. I even saw a video on Twitter today. Looked pretty damn professional. If I can't say
so he's an asshole
for Prop US. Was it Prop US?
Yeah. Prop.
He's one of these fucking dudes that's just good at everything, and everybody likes him, and it makes me. He's like you, Monk. Nobody has a bad word to say about you.
Yeah, but I don't have the haircut.
It makes me sick. Makes me sick. You guys are so nice. Everybody likes you. Yeah, it makes me sick. Yeah, trust me. By the way, I'm plotting against both of you right now in my dungeon.
Plots and schemes.
I'm like, I don't know if you ever seen like the Batman's got plans for Superman. I got plans for all you.
Just remember, guys, Henry Cejudo and Gilbert Burns.
I got plans. If any of you defy me to take you down, Monk. By the way, Monk, who do you think your kidnappers are right now? You stupid son of a.
I don't know. There's theories that I'm in your basement. That's the running theory.
Well, I don't know. I don't go down there. I don't ask, and they don't tell me. I just know money. Here's what I pay them.
Turn the air up a little bit.
Here's what I do to pay them. There's no question, son. Son.
Well, let's get
the main event, motherfucker.
Let's get everybody out of here. The main event: Aljamain Sterling going against Henry Cejudo. Speaking of people that haven't fought in 3 years, 8,100 a piece for DraftKings. They didn't know what the hell to do. I'll be rostering this fight. Aljo is the better scorer historically, so I'll probably have more of him. But I'm very interested to see what you guys say about Cejudo. I'm pretty sure both of you are on Cejudo, if I had to guess. So I'm interested to see
we're both
a
million% on Cejudo.
Yeah, well, I want to hear it. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, go on. I can kick it off. So Henry Cejudo, my second biggest bet of the year, right behind Gilbert Burns. They just both happen to be on the same card, and that's why I wanted to come on and say, overall, Cejudo, I think, is going to have, you look at Aljamain Sterling, okay? How has Aljo been so successful over these last couple fights? He's been able to take his opponents down. He's been able to lock up that body triangle on literally everyone and, just win fights. I mean, if he could do it against Henry Cejudo, who's literally an Olympic gold medalist in wrestling, it's whatever. Just take my money. I just don't see it. This fight will play out standing. And I think Henry Cejudo is just, even with the layoff, man, like he's always in camp. He's always in fight mode. He's not a Conor McGregor layoff where he's sitting down, drinking, doing absolutely nothing. He's still in the gym. He's still watching fights. He's still helping people out, And I think Cejudo, his striking is very, very underrated. His boxing, especially. His understanding of distance in this fight is what's going to be the difference. We look at what Jan did to Sterling on the feet in his first fight, Moraes knocked out Sterling. All these fighters, if Sterling can't take you down, they have success against him, And I think Sterling is a guy that doesn't really have a flow on the stance. He's constantly switching stances, trying to figure out what to be. And I feel like it's more of uncomfortable than like, wow, he's switching stances. He knows what he's doing. He's uncomfortable on the feet. And that's why you see him hunt for these takedowns. And I think Cejudo, a guy that is a master at, establishing his distance, using his range, and then just hitting you with his his boxing, his power, it's very, very underrated. We saw him spark TJ Dillashaw. We saw him smack Dominic Cruz with a knee. Overall, I think Cejudo is the best 135 pounder in the world. And I do think if he moves up to 145, everybody calls me crazy. I think he's live against Volkanovski as well. I do. I'm not saying he wins, but I think he's live against Volkanovski at 145.
Lou, what do you got, bud?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty big on the Cejudo side here. I only have a unit on a bet right now.
Join the dark side. Add more. Join the dark side.
Well, the reason I have one unit on it and not more is I'm gonna live bet him after one, and he's gonna be like plus 170, and I'm gonna like fucking hammer the roll, like after one. I am going to fucking drop the hammer.
Yeah, because Aljo's coming out strong. Like you said, there is going to be opportunity. Aljo's coming out strong.
So I don't know how many of the people that watch this show watch it for comedy or watch it for like betting insights. For those of you that know me, I've been gambling for 20 years. I'm like really good at gambling. You guys can't see through the insanity. I'm like very good at this game. And it's very rare that I drop like a massive bet. I am going to hit Cejudo like, this might be like a 10 unit bet after one. There's two reasons. I don't care about this layoff because Cejudo is the most retired guy ever. He's literally been working with he's fight ready. He's been training with people. Number two, he's the smartest fighter we've ever seen. And if you don't believe me, John Jones goes to him and says, what do I need to do to prepare for this fight? Demetrius Johnson, a dude he had a rivalry with, consults him for betting advice. Sean O'Malley has gone to him. What do I need to do to win these fights? Dude, this is the level of respect that people have for Henry Cejudo. He is the most brilliant fighter mind. You don't think he's been thinking about this Sterling fight for 3 years? Like picking his... Dude, he is the most... Whatever you think of Cejudo, you think he's cringy, whatever, like, get over it. How many times have you bet a fighter where you're like, man, he had shitty fight IQ? We're literally getting an opportunity at almost even money to bet the guy with the best fight IQ I've ever seen in my life. And he's minus 110 because he's 3 years laid off. Bullshit, dude. Look, man, I don't think Sterling's a joke. This is no knock on Sterling's talent. I bet him the last two fights. I bet him in the rematch against Jan. I bet him against Dillashaw. Dude, if you're holding a Sterling ticket in this fight, I don't know how you're comfortable with it. Cejudo is just so much better on the feet. He's a better wrestler. Is he a better grappler? I don't know, but like, if I respect Cejudo's intelligence so much, don't you think the last 6 months he's like, how do I escape his backpack? Like, that's all he's working on. Like I don't think there's anything Sterling can do that Cejudo's not ready for. I think he's gonna fuck him up, dude. I think by the way, the round 3, 4, 5 KO prop on FanDuel is plus 850. I already hit that, and I hit it for like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't track it because it's a combo. I hit it for like a very unreasonable amount of money.
And let me jump in just to cut you off. If you guys are narrative guys, everyone watching, at home, and especially like,
I was just gonna say this.
Yeah,
I know.
Cejudo kept saying these last 2 weeks it will not go past 3 rounds.
But that's just, a fighter's never lied before, right?
Yeah, but man, when you look at the way he sparked Dillashaw, and you look at the way he knocked Cruz out, and you look at the way he's been able to finish these fights before he laid off, I could see it happening round 2, round 3. I mean, round 3 is probably the most optimal for me, but you have to take Cejudo inside the distance, I think, too. Round 3, 4, 5, that's a good bet too at plus 850. You said,
but you understand that like Cejudo has just been like waiting for this, right?
Yes, and people don't realize, like he's mentioned,
picking his spot, dude.
He's a bad motherfucker. Like, people don't know who Henry Cejudo is. You don't become the youngest Olympic, gold medalist just doing nothing. This guy's
he's the second youngest.
Who's the youngest?
Me. Me. Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you don't know this about Lou Betya?
No,
Dude,
I don't.
I won Olympic gold in like child arson.
Again, why are you lighting children on fire?
Oh man.
First of all, like when I was, again, I'm way older than you guys, and this was the only sport we had. So why? Because that's how you look, dude. I grew up in a family where, my father was a sharecropper, and
You can't do this at the end of the show.
what? I can't do what?
You can't do this at the end of the show.
What am I doing, dude?
My father was a sharecropper.
What am I doing?
Oh,
What am
Lord.
I doing? What am I doing wrong?
Oh, no, you said, I'm going to go back to Zayd. You said narrative. This is where Aljo doesn't want to be here anymore at bantamweight. This is the perfect spot for him to lose and then go up to featherweight. So Marab,
that weight cut, he did not look, man. It's like
he's done.
gutted. Yeah,
He's done.
yeah.
Oh,
And you gotta,
I'm
and
not
you gotta
done with this after you guys. I'm not done with this.
no, dude. Like when you see him flexing, man, Cejudo's just filled out. He's strong. He's a strong 135 pounder, and that's gonna be the difference, man. I'm telling you, that's gonna be a difference in this fight. And like you mentioned, you guys, Lou, you hit it on the head too. I mean, all you guys, both just the IQ, the fight IQ he has, the adjustments mid-fight, like with Marlon Moraes, he's losing. Yeah. He looked like he was gonna get fucked up that fight. And he came out the second round and he said, hey, I'm gonna bite down on my mouthpiece, I'm gonna pressure forward, and I'm gonna knock this fucking guy out. And hey, he did it.
Yeah, and what Lou said about the fight IQ being the smartest guy he's ever, that's probably swayed me a bit as well, for sure. Because he's not wrong.
Well, you know what else I'm not wrong about? My father being a sharecropper. I don't know why this is like a fucking big dude. I've said worse things on YouTube in like the last 24 hours.
No, it's not bad. I'm just saying you can't tell your my dad was a sharecropper story at the end of the show.
There's no story, brother.
Brother.
You know what that story is? The fucking aches and pains he brought home every day when he walked fucking uphill both ways. Yeah, like so.
No shoes on.
That's it.
Exactly. Well, I think that's it. We covered 12 fights on the card now. Again, hit the like on the video. We want to thank Zayd for being here a ton. Thank you so much. Made it a very interesting show. One of our better shows, in my opinion. I had a blast. The chat's been going crazy, so I know they had a blast as well. Please promote anything you like to do before we get out of here.
Thank you, guys. You guys can follow me at Zayd Hussein, at Zayd_Hussein on Twitter. And one more thing, just to talk about these guys, Monk and Lou, you take advantage of their content because they're providing free content, and it's better than any content out there that's paid content. I mean, you guys are two of the sharpest minds in the industry, and I truly believe that. And take advantage of this content and take advantage of this time. These guys are putting on great shows every single week and breaking down these cards. And once again, MMA, if you guys haven't heard it yet from me, is the best sport to bet because there's so many edges in MMA.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Second best sport to bet.
What's the best?
Danish handball.
Danish handball is like.
Oh, hey, send me picks, man. I mean, I don't know. Send me picks.
I have such a massive advantage, dude. But sharing bro handball is no joke, man. Like, it's such a wild market, man.
Ridiculous. Lou, where can the people find you?
You can find me. You can find me in every Danish handball chat room talking shit against Kif Kolding. They think they have the golden hand. They don't. Bajering bro handball for life hose.
This guy.
Just, dude, if you're watching this, find me on Twitter. Like, I did like 900 fucking shows this week. Of all the shows I did, I would say the one I want you to support the most is the Same Game Parlay show that I did with Brady and Johnny Capex. Zayd, I don't know how many Same Game Parlays do on DraftKings. These things are a fucking gold mine. I'm finding plus odds bullshit. They're going to snap down. You give me an example. Zayd, my biggest bet last week was not something I could track. You know what it was? Cody Durden to have one takedown in the first and over 5.5 minutes, plus 110 odds.
Really?
Yes, really.
Yeah, Lou's going crazy.
Plus 110.
I'm watching that show right after this. I gotta look.
Zayd, you know my other. I had one other big one last week too. You know what it was? Caio Borralho, one takedown in the first, plus his money line, plus 140.
Wow.
Dude,
yeah,
he's
the only one doing these SGPs.
Dude, these things are dude, you could do the ones that like pay $1,500, but like,
No, you could just keep it simple and print
hold on,
money.
Zayd, I'll give you a good
Kyle
one.
Bahio at plus 140. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zayd, I'll give you a good one. You like the Andrade side?
Okay. Yeah.
Andrade and her to have one takedown in the fight, plus 105 this week.
Wow. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
If you like the Andrade side,
yeah, you have to take it.
You go
Yeah.
from minus 200 to plus 105.
If she gets a flash KO, okay.
Yeah.
But dude, if she gets one takedown and wins, plus you're cutting minus 200 to plus 105, dude.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, no, I
And
love
and that, by the way, that's not a first round takedown. That's any takedown.
Is there anything?
Oh, no, sorry. It's most takedowns in the fight. It's most takedowns. If she gets one, it's like overtaken. She gets one takedown, you win most takedowns.
So I did something. It wasn't a same game parlay, but it was something I saw with the Volkanovski Makhachev fight. It was who has more takedowns, Makhachev or Volkanovski, and he was minus 500. And I'm like, dude, this should be minus like 1,000 minimum, you know. and I bet it, as max as they let me in. But like you guys said, if you know the side and how someone wins, just parlaying.
Look, they haven't look, Zayd, you and I are big NFL guys.
Yeah.
So you've done same game parlays for NFL, right?
Yeah, and it's correlated. You got to correlate things. That's it.
Okay, you just said the magic word.
Yeah.
If you bet like, let's say Jamar Chase 100 yards, Monk knows football. He's not like blind here.
Mhm.
If you bet Chase to get 100 yards and a touchdown, you're not getting really good odds because they figure the TD's baked into the yards. But if you bet something like Jamar Chase to score and like the other team to win, you start getting like big odds when it's an uncorrelated parlay. But MMA hasn't figured that shit out yet.
Right.
Zayd. So if you do these things where like I didn't bet Durden to win last week. I wasn't sure. But I was sure he was going to get a goddamn first round takedown because he was going to fucking hunt for it for 5 minutes, and Johnson wasn't knocking him the fuck out in the first.
Yeah.
For him to get one and the fight to go past the first round,
that's a no-brainer.
Like, honestly, I should have bet my fucking life savings on it. I'm like, dude, he hit the takedown in like 30 seconds. I'm like, well, there's one part of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like Durden's throwing no punches. I'm like, I think I'm all right here. I mean, dude, so that's a great market for everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out that show.
They're gonna bone us at some point, but like, I thank you too, Zayd. Zayd asked me to be on the show. I love this dude. He's one of my fucking dudes. I know him through John Kelly. John Kelly's one of those dudes. He's so nice. Makes me sick. Makes me sick that everybody loves him. He's so nice. He's a military vet. He works on his lawn. The nicest guy ever. Fuck you, John Kelly. John, by the way, John knows I like dude. But John,
thanks, guys.
Fuck you, man.
All right, guys, we're going to get you out of here on that. Shit talking the nicest guy in the world. Be sure to, again, hit the like, subscribe. And as there's only one thing left to do before I get all mixed up. As usual, we want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you next week.
Peace.